It is another hot day outside. I've got the thunder in the background, but I have the biggest log I have ever put on the sawmill, and I want to share this experience with you guys. Although it is a fairly short log, this is a poplar log at the butt end, and it is 25 or 26 inches in diameter on this butt end. Like I said, it's only 6 feet long. I think what I'm going to do is, well, I loaded it up earlier and looks like I've got plenty of room. This is the highest the sawmill will go, so I've got plenty of room to cut probably a couple more inches bigger. It's not very pretty, it's not perfect. I think it has some knots, but I want to open it up, and what I am going to do is cut it into 4/4 boards, since it's not long enough for any structural or anything that I can think of, you know, a 6-foot board. So I'm going to cut it into 4/4. I'm going to stack it, I'm going to sticker it, I'm going to strap it down, let it dry for a month or so, plane it down. So I think that's the plan, but put it in a description or in a comment how many boards. I think I'm going to go for maybe 13-inch boards, so that way I can make really nice 12-inch boards out of this, maybe even longer or wider. I'm not sure yet, but let's open this log up and see what it has to show us. As I was saying, it's not a perfect log, but look at the colors. And of course it has a knot right there. I think it'll be okay. Some washboarding right here, but it's still pretty flat cut. It's right here, 13 inches on this end. That's an 18-inch cut right there. So instead of taking off another slab, I think what I'm going to do is rotate it, try to square it off a little bit. So on this one, I am going to be using my PVC pipes you've seen in previous videos I made. See how that does. It should help me rotate this. So I've got these PVC pipes that I cut to 2 feet. I'm going to slide them on the bunk stops or the log stops, help me rotate this. Got this 2-inch PVC pipes slid over the log stops, and that helps you turn the log. I wonder if I can do this. All right, so the bark is peeling off. Look at that. pretty darn heavy log, so I need to slide it in just a little bit more. I have found that these wedges are very useful. Okay, so that's against the bunks. That means I just need to lift this up and move the wedge. Some more. All right, so now that's pretty square. I will make the pass. Really, this right here is what's holding this whole log right now. Whew. That's heavy. Check this out. All right, so I've got this ginormous, short but ginormous log. You can see squared off with the bunks, or I'm sorry, with the log stops. I'm gonna go ahead and take off another inch or so off the top, and then maybe rotate it again. Well, let's see what it does. If you're new today, thanks for watching. My name is Noah, Robin Sawmill and Outdoors, where I'm using my HM 126 Woodland Mill sawmill. I am not an ambassador, and I cut the trees that I get off my property. We've got 15 acres of woods, and as I clear to develop the land and build a house and build the barns and whatnot, I cut up the trees, either sell them for firewood or sell them into lumber. All right, let's go ahead and fire the mill up and take off this. So right now this is 24 inches, right at 24 inches. I think here, by the time I take this off, it will be 19. So I'm gonna take off as little as I can because the other slab was a little thick. I thought the mill was all the way up, but I guess I could have went up another inch. That is up at 22 inches. It will go up to 22 and a half. So let me do that right there, 22 and a half. Look at this cut. I'm gonna have to call it a day here in a little bit. Thunder is getting closer. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have to call it a day because it is starting to rain and it got pretty dark, and thunder is right in front of me, right behind you guys. I'll bring you back when I come back. Actually, I think before I rotate this log, I'm gonna go ahead and take the slab off so it's not as big or as bulky, because as of right now it's 24 inches and I don't want to cut anything that big. I think I want like, well, my planer is only 11.5 inches wide. I just have a small box store planer, so I don't really want to do anything more than like 12 or 13 inches by the time it dries. Run it through a table saw or an edger, or edge it, not an edger. I don't have an edger, but I'm gonna go ahead and take about 1.75 inches off, and I'm still using the same old blade. That is a Woodmizer Silver Tip 7-degree blade, the 739 I believe. And let's go ahead and take the slab off and see what it looks like. It's been sitting out for, when I say the next day or the new day, it's been almost a week. We had nothing but storms, but let's go ahead and take the slab off. I already got it set up to where I needed it, or where I wanted it, so that's what we're gonna do. I couldn't have a much more wider, maybe another half more inch over here. My guide bar was like literally right here. And no, I'm not wearing gloves. I hardly ever wear gloves for this. Oh, man, look at this color. Oh boy. Yeah, although this is poplar, it is still pretty darn heavy. This log was from back in the day, several months ago, when I had some trees taken down. This was actually like a double log, or a double trunk. So I cut off the other trunks and cut off the knots, and this is what I got. I can only get a 6-foot log out of this one. But check out the grain. It's, if you know poplar, you know how this is. Very nice grain. But once it sits uncovered, it looks like nothing. So let's go ahead and rotate this log another 90 degrees. And we will again use the PVCs. I don't remember who suggested it, but it was a great suggestion. It really helps rotating these logs. And obviously these little wedges help too, because they help it from rolling on you like this. And of course I dropped it. Just like that, throw a PVC pipe over top of the log stops. It gives you that extra leverage to rotate. Shoo! That's a heavy log. Now I do not need to clamp this one down due to the weight of it. If you know, you know. But do take these off so you don't slice through them. I know some people say that a 7-degree blade is too much for a 14 horsepower motor, but I really like using 7 or 8 degree blades versus 10 degree blades. I think it does more gooder, in my opinion. But I am no professional sawyer, so take that if you want. Now I'm just going to go down 1 more inch. Let's look at that. This one is not as colorful, but look at the colors right there. And I think if I get on the side, see how square it is, how much bark is left. Very little. And I don't know. Let's see, this is, it is 18 inches wide. I think I can cut 19. Well, it says 24. So I wonder, no, I think I'm going to drop it down some. 18 inches is too big. I'm going to center it with the pith right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Put it right here. So here's the pith right here. So that is 7 3/4 to here, and 10 1/4 from the top. So I've got, what, 3.5 inches? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 2-inch slab, or maybe 1-inch board, and another 2-inch slab. Yep, let's do that. Let's do a 1-inch and then another 2-inch slab. I'm out of water. Super humid today, but here's another 1-inch board I need to edge, and here's a 2-inch slab. You know, I got a 2 inches on scale. I wonder what it is. 1 7/8 inches. I did not use the DRO. I don't need anything that precise. Here's the grain after that cut. Looks like a knot right here. Not sure how deep it is, but it's still pretty flat. This blade is cutting pretty nice. And this one, just looking at it, I think I might leave it just like that, not even edge it. And then once it dries a little bit, the bark will fall right off. And then, well, look, it's coming off already. And this would make like a really nice live edge, like a countertop, well, not a countertop, but a shelving for the shed. Another thing I do not have for this shed or for my location here is I have no power. I am nearly 800 feet from my transformer, and it will cost $14,000 at least to bring power to, well, anywhere in this area. So if you guys have recommendations for a power unit, I'd love a big one that is big enough to run some tools, so probably like a quiet generator, 4,500, 5,000, 6,000 watt, or a solar power, that's a couple thousand watt, also will probably do me just fine for this little building for now. But that's what I'm looking for. If you guys have recommendations, I am not brand loyal, and I am looking for a, right now, probably a solar or battery power pack. I have a 300 watt and it does great for the battery chargers, and like if I need to charge a phone or my mic set or anything like that, that works perfectly. But it is not big enough to do anything else. All right, so I've got one that is going to be a very nice one, and let's see what this cant looks like. Now let's check the measurements here. I've got 7 1/4 and 7 3/4. I think it's pretty darn close. I'm going to leave it at that. And how wide is this? 15 inches. I think what I'm going to do is, I almost want to just slab it down like that, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to slab it down just like this at 2 inches. And that way I will have nice live edge, 2 inch, well, 1 3/4 slab. So by the time the dry will be about what, 1.5 inches. And I can sand it. It won't go through the planer, but that is okay. I have lots of poplar. I don't have very much poplar this size. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just slab these at 2 inches and go from there. And if you have different ideas, obviously, let me know. If this is a 6-foot log, 6-foot log. So if you guys don't agree with me slabbing it in 2 inches and leaving live edge for a countertop or something like that for my shed, let me know what you would have turned it into. Whether you would have turned it into 4/4 boards, 5, 6, 7, 8/4, flat edge, and what size. Put it down in the comments. Let me know what you think I should have cut this log into outside of this live edge. But the thing with live edge, remember this, once I cut this down to, let's say, 12 inches, I can't make it any bigger. But with it being live edge slabs just like this, and I decide I want it 12 inches wide, I can always bring it back and take off the live edge. I think this is the best idea for this log, since I don't know what I need it for. So let's do that, and I will bring you guys right back. Have I mentioned that it's hot out here? I don't know if I have, but the temperature may not have been, or may not be 100 degrees, but it is super humid, as you can see, soaking wet. And I've only been out here for, I don't know, about an hour or so. Coffee is life. And don't be, if you know, you know. But let me show you what I've got so far. Man, this is hard work. If you own a sawmill, sun is right, there you go. If you own a sawmill, you know that handling these things is pretty tiresome. I don't even know which way is best. But this is what I've gotten so far. I just need to stack it, and let me show you what I got. As I mentioned earlier, I'm just taking 2-inch slabs. So I went ahead and pulled the bark off of it. Maybe it'll dry better. Stacked it nicely, and I've got ratchet straps set up and ready to go. So what I'll do is, instead of using the bands, the band strapping, I'm going to use ratchet straps. That way, as it dries, I can tighten it back up. So I've got 4 slabs right there. Then I've got 1, 2, 3 more right here. This one right here is right below the pith. It's got that knot, but I'm still going to stack it on here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 more right there. So that's 7. and I had to take that one off so I could finish cutting it, since the throat is only like 6.5 inches. And what I say, that's 8. And I've got one more right here that I'm going to edge this side off a little bit. So that would be 9 2-inch slabs. I think it would be great for shelving. Whether I use it or whether I sell it, I'll sell just about anything. And on top of that, I've got 1, 2, and 3 1-inch boards that will make decent trim. So I've got 2 decent boards. The other one I might just throw away. So with that being said, 9 2-inch slabs. They are ranging from 14 to 20 inches or 18 inches in diameter, or in width, like this one right here, 20 inches to the outside of the bark. So let's say 18 or 19 inches, 2 inches thick. Well, it's actually 1 7/8 inches, so it'll be perfect 1.5 inch thickness. And they are 6 foot long. Let me know what you think it's worth. Normally I charge $1.25 a board foot for poplar, but with them being so thick and so wide, I might go to $1.50 a board foot. So you do the math on that if you know how to calculate board footage. Or I might wait a month or so, let them dry. I'm going to cover it with some tin so the rain doesn't get on it. Let it dry and charge a higher premium. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but let me know what you think I should do. For now, I'm just going to strap it, let it dry, and let me know what you think I should charge for it. Like I said, normally for poplar boards, it's $1.25 a board foot. Anyway, guys, I think this is going to be it for today. I'm going to go ahead and clean these slabs up, stack them up, sticker them, strap them down, and set them aside somewhere. And I've got to get some more work done. I've got a lot to do, very little time to do so. But thank you for watching, guys, and thanks for subscribing. And by the way, if you have not done so, please do so. It does not cost you anything, but it helps me out tremendously. Anyway, I think once I put this up, I'm gonna work on this a little bit, and I really need to get some power out here. So if you guys have a good recommendation, drop it in a comment. Until then, I will see you on the next video. God bless.